I can tell you from experience, it's an absolute bitch to change over.
What's up, guys?
What's up guys, Ron 9mm. Today we are having our first look at the SIG Sauer P320 X-Ten. Why X-Ten? Because it's 5 more than the X5. No, not really. The X5 is a 9mm pistol. This is a 10mm pistol. Let's have a look in the box. First things first, the box itself. Nice, sturdy, lockable case. No cardboard here. Ooh, there she is. So, let's have a quick look. Usual instruction booklet, stickers, warnings, trying to flog you SIG expensive oils and lubricants and cleaners, advert for the NRA, ammunition leaflet, gun itself. Yeah, stop, read the instructions. Yeah, okay, we will do that in a minute. Chamber flag to indicate that it's empty. And we've got 1, 2, 15 round SIG 10mm magazines, manufactured by Meccar, made in Italy. I don't do accents. Alright, so initial impressions. This feels lighter than my X5. The recoil spring is definitely heavier than my X5. This is not tungsten infused polymer. This is polymer infused polymer. It's also a black color as opposed to the rather nice gray color of my X5 Legion. It says X-Ten on the side. There is no removable magwell. It looks like there might be the opportunity to put something on there. There is a screw hole here and some kind of divotty thing, catchy area there, but you don't get one in the box. Let's see what it weighs in as. 29.7 ounces without, 33 ounces with an unloaded magazine. That is considerably lighter than the X5. Tritium front and rear sights. The rear sights are fixed as opposed to the X5s, which are adjustable. The optic cover is different too. It screws in from the top and doesn't take the rear sight off. This mount plate gives you the ability to potentially co-witness. Have a look at the trigger pull. I'm using this gauge from Wheeler Engineering. I really like this one because it gives you the average as well, and you can do it in all sorts of different ways. So let's see about our trigger pull. 5 pounds 4 ounces. I broke at 5.9, and one more, 5.4. So I got an average of 5 pounds 6 ounces. Trigger, got a little bit of mush. You can feel the wall. Let's check the reset. Yeah, a little bit there, but that's not bad. It doesn't feel particularly smooth. A bit disappointing that you only get 2 magazines included as opposed to the 320 X5's 3. The mag release is reversible, and I can tell you from experience it's an absolute bitch to change over. It's fiddly and it will drive you nuts. I'm not going to attempt to do this on camera, but you change this over should you so be inclined. You got to push this. There is a little hole that you're going to put either one of those iPhone SIM card removers or a paperclip or something like that down there. You're going to wiggle it around while praying, and then this little tab is going to eventually slide out. There is no little spring in there. It's a little plastic piece. As a lefty shooter, I can, with my 1911s, I just use my index finger to eject. That's not too bad. If you're a right-handed shooter and you want to do that, you're going to end up changing that over. Let's have a look inside. Lock it back, twist the takedown lever, release the slide gently. Something rattly in there, don't like that much. So let's have a look at the underside of the slide. Careful on this. Oh, interesting. That is a encaptured recoil spring. I wasn't expecting that. Barrel 10mm auto as opposed to 9 because it's one more. Very familiar. There is your extractor. Just for the fun of it, let's go in there, have a look inside too. This is going to feel very familiar. The first thing you're going to want to do is gently push down on this plunger to release that cover. Be careful, parts can be under tension. Put the cover out of the way, pull the plunger, and the extractor should just come straight out. There you go. I am not going to take it out because bad things can happen, but your striker lives right there. SIG does sell a complete striker assembly for spares, as well as all the individual parts that you will find in here. Not taking it apart, go look at somebody else's video if you want to see that. Reassembly, super easy, just reverse order. Extractor. When you are putting this plunger back in, you will notice there's a little tooth on there that covers over the extractor to hold it in place. If you put it in the wrong way around, it's not going to work. So these are going to be under tension. That slides in. There you go. Once that plunger is in the right place, it's not going to turn. Got to be a little careful putting this in. You're going to want to move the striker assembly forward a tiny amount. Put the rear cover on a tiny amount to hold that in place. Be very careful that this doesn't spring out everywhere. Take some kind of tool, push the plunger all the way in. Make sure that cover goes all the way in. If it's not there, like it's not now, you don't have the plunger. Back this out a little bit and try again. I'm going to do it a different way. I'm just resting that cover there so I can push this plunger down. There you go. When the cover is on all the way, you know that it's good. Barrel goes back in, and then the encaptured guide rod and recoil spring. Just remember, there's a right way and a wrong way. Fat end towards the back, thin end towards the front. Little push. Make sure it's on that notch. There you go. Take the frame. Rotate the takedown lever as you do so, and function check. And I am not surprised, this seems to be a thing with SIGs. If you put it together and the trigger doesn't work, do not call New Hampshire. All you're going to do, lock it back, drop it, and there it's going to work. I don't know why that does it like that, it just does. I don't question, I just know that it works. So you might be asking, why this over a Glock 20?
I know of your past fondness for the Austrian varietals, but I can wholeheartedly endorse the new breed of German.
Both of them are 10mm, both of them are 15 rounds. This one is considerably more expensive than the Glock. Well, the whole thing is, as a left-handed shooter, there's a slide release on this side. So I can drop the slide with my left thumb. The Glock does not have that, nor am I aware of any way of putting an aftermarket ambidextrous slide release on the Glock. This is optics ready. I'm going to be doing that in a later video. This cover comes off. Is that worth paying considerably more for this than that? I like SIGs. I don't like Glocks. I've owned one. I didn't like it. So, is it worth more? It is to me. But you tell me in the comments, SIG versus Glock, what do you like? And defend your answer. In this corner here, I'm going to put a video of my unboxing of the SIG P320 X5 Legion. And I think probably up here somewhere there is going to be a place to click to subscribe if you haven't done so already. And always remember, as a wise man once said, you can't miss fast enough to win. Take care.